Blowing the whistle. I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. This is the video in regards to a civil lawsuit that has been filed in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Mississippi. Antonio Jones versus United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Why is this lawsuit important? Because from reading the complaint, it appears that Antonio Jones, who was the investigator assigned the Vogel Denise Newsom versus First Heritage Credit matter, has been subjected to some unlawful and illegal practices from the EEOC's Wilma Jones Scott and Delnar Franklin Thomas in retaliation to wanting investigations into Newsom's EEOC charge.
Hello, my name is Sergeant Antonio Jones from Jackson, Mississippi. I'm stationed here at Abidjan, Kuwait. I'd like to say I love you and hello to my mom in Goodman, Mississippi, my children, Alexandra Jones and Jamari Brown. And I'd like to say I love you to everybody, all my family, my sisters, cousins, brothers, friends, the rest of the family over the world. I love you guys. Happy holidays.
According to some of the information in the complaint filed by Antonio Jones against the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, it says that plaintiff, which is Antonio Jones, is a qualified individual with disabilities which he sustained while deployed in Operation Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom. This is a shame and disgrace, but see how the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and or the federal government treats veterans who speak out, who blow the whistle on the unlawful and illegal activities of the United States Despotism Corporate Empires Agency as the EEOC, that's controlled and run by none other than Nazis and or white Jews, Zionists, and supremacists. This is the February 27, 2015 voicemail message from Antonio Jones to Vogel Denise Newsom.
Yes, this is Federal Investigator Antonio Jones. I'm trying to return your call. If you want to give me a call back, I will attempt to answer your questions. I will attempt to call you back on, if not this evening, it's going to be Monday. Thank you.
Sent Friday, February 27th at 12:44 p.m.
This is the March 2nd, 2015 voicemail from Antonio Jones to Vogel Denise Newsom.
Antonio Jones, EEOC. I have the message again. However, I hear that you did come in. I know I was not in the office on Friday, and I won't be into the office until after the 16th of March. However, I have looked into your case. If you would like to, you can write a letter requesting that you want to reopen your case or have an appeal on your case. We will look into your case to be reopened based on the facts and the merits of the case. My number is 601-948-8451. Thank you.
End of message. To delete this message, sent Monday, March 2nd at 10:11 a.m.
This is the March 3rd, 2015 voicemail message from Vogel Denise Newsom to EEOC Investigator Antonio Jones. Today is March the 3rd, 2015. I am going to call
EEOC Investigator Antonio Jones at 601-948-8451.
Antonio Jones, federal investigator with the EEOC. Sorry I'm unable to accept the call at this time. If you would, please leave a name and number at the sound of the tone. I'll be sure to get back with you. Thanks.
Antonio Jones, Vogel Newsom, EEOC charge number 423-2015-00. 802. I am calling just to follow up with our conversation on yesterday, just to let you know that I did drop off my request to reopen the case and request to be advised of conflict of interest. In regards to that, I'm asking that you all do answer my request for the conflict of interest, as well as reopening the case for an investigation. As that's shared with you also, with that document is included the compliance manual for the EEOC that I'm asking that you all to abide by. Also, my concerns that this is almost like the Watergate scandal, the Nixon Watergate scandal. So my concerns, and I want the public to know, is what did the EEOC know and when did they know that, especially in regards to y'all's your law firm or your lawyers, Baker, Donelson, Bearman, Caldwell, and Berkowitz, and whether or not you all are going to go after them, finding out what they have been doing after they took a shellacking in the Newsom versus Entergy matter. So if you have any questions, feel free to call me back, but I'm just looking forward to this case being reopened and investigated.
This is the March 4th, 2015 voicemail from Vogel Denise Newsom to EEOC Investigator Willie Churchill. Should be Willie Schaefer.
Hi, Willie Churchill. My name is Vogel Newsom. Charge number is 423-2015-00-802. And I'm returning your call. And I just wanted to mention that before we talk, I'm requesting that you read my February 9th, 2015 EEOC type written charge. It's about 310 pages against First Heritage Credit, so that you will have an understanding as to what is going on and why. And also, my concern is that these are racist, discriminatory, retaliatory practices leveled against me. And this has been taking place for over a period of 25 years. I need to know of the conflicts of interest, if any, such as is whether or not Baker, Donelson, Bearman, Caldwell, and Berkowitz is legal counsel to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission or the Department of Labor. This matter is one of high profile, and it reaches high offices in the U.S. as the White House, Congress, and the Supreme Court. This is a matter of public interest for years and decades. So I'm saying that we as the people have a right to demand justice. This EEOC charge seeks a class action matter. We the people ask for justice, for instance, for Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, and many, many more that have been victimized by white supremacists or racists as the EEOC's legal counsel, Baker Donelson. So if you can give me a call back, I would appreciate it after you have read the complaint. Then I believe we can talk. Thank you.
Recording stopped. To review the message, press 2. To deposit it, press 7-9 or hang up. Message delivered.
From an excerpt taken from Antonio Jones's lawsuit against the United States Equal Employment Commission It states, for instance, at paragraph 14, Ms. Thomas paid a visit to plaintiff after plaintiff had returned home from the hospital after having colon and abdominal surgery, along with chemotherapy treatment. Paragraph 15. During this visit, Ms. Thomas attempted to intimidate plaintiff into revoking a complaint that plaintiff made regarding Miss Scott. That's Wilma Jones Scott, for illegally closing a, notice that, a case. The plaintiff felt threatened. To plaintiff, it was like being in a government gangster mob movie. When a person knows of a crime and the government comes to their home and warns them not to tell the authorities what they saw or they would be killed. In the plaintiff situation, it would be termination. Plaintiff refused to drop the complaint against Miss Scott. Gangsters. Running scared. From the lawsuit filed by Antonio Jones against the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, it states about paragraph 16 from the information there that Ms. Scott retired from working there at the EEOC about in December 2017. Now she works at the city of Jackson as an EEO compliance officer, the same position she held when she worked for the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Why is this information important? Because the Nazis and the white Jews Zionist supremacist law firm of Baker, Donelson, Bearman, Caldwell, and Berkowitz is legal counsel to the United States of America and its agencies as the Department of Labor's Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. This law firm is also legal counsel for the city of Jackson, Mississippi. Some of the excerpts from the article found, for instance, how they support even the EEOC works in an article entitled Firm Participates in EEOC's E-Race Initiative. See, that's why you don't see them coming, because they disguise themselves and they use what's known as black house Negroes. Okay? But here it is. This is taken from an article dated April the 23rd, 2008. Maurice Wexler, Ben Adams, and Angela Davis of Baker, Donelson, Bearman, Caldwell, and Berkowitz participated in an invitation-only executive leadership conference introducing a new program of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. The firm was a lead supporter of the event, and Mr. Adams acted as an honorary chair, while Ms. Davis gave a presentation on tools for human resources personnel. In the February 2015 EEOC charge filed by Vogel Denise Newsom against First Heritage Credit, it addresses systematic discrimination. The United States Legal Counsel, Baker, Donelson, Bearman, Caldwell, and Berkowitz, is engaging in civil and criminal activities. They have launched what's known as like a blacklisting conspiracy, where they have stalked Newsom from state to state, job to job, so etc. So no matter where she goes, they are using their power and positions to stalk her, to track her, then reaching out to employers and getting her terminated. Complaints have been filed with the EEOC, for instance, in Cincinnati, Ohio, with the Ohio Civil Rights Commission in regards to the civil and criminal violations there. Then also with the Kentucky Commission on Human Rights. Yet and still, nothing has been done. Well, it looks, or it appears, that Antonio Jones wanted to do something. However, there they are, using these black Ku Klux Klan members as the likes of Wilma Scott Jones or Jones Scott, Delnar Franklin Thomas, Wilma Jarvie, who's the EEOC Cincinnati area director, House Negroes like G. Michael Payton of the Ohio Civil Rights Commission. He is the executive director there. Then for the Kentucky Commission on Human Rights, the head, as they say, Negro in charge, Executive Director John J. Johnson. In his head, what they call Aunt Jemima, Housing Enforcement Officer Leandra Goatley. And what Klan members at the helm of the ship at that time? None other than Klan members as Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, Kentucky Senator Mitchell McConnell. All done to obstruct the administration of justice and other criminal activities and conspiracies. So there were those who were saying, well, there's only just a few months left and he'll be out of there. Who is he? Former United States President Barack Hussein Obama II. Oh no, it is not over for the former president, Barack Hussein Obama II. He can still be investigated and prosecuted for any roles in the conspiracies involving war crimes, apartheid practices, also known as crimes against humanity and other criminal activities. He just merely took those dirty little hands and handed that baton off to now one of the top ranking Nazis and or white Jews, Zionist supremacist leaders, Donald John Trump. They both have the same legal counsel, none other than Baker, Donelson, Bearman, Caldwell, and Berkowitz. And we have found the Achilles heel of the United States despotism government empire. So no, there it is. Even the President of the United States, Donald John Trump, is saying that he's not up under investigation. But again, we are in the position of taking the investigation request and seeking prosecution outside the jurisdiction of the United States of America to international forums as the international criminal courts and or other international tribunals to request and seek investigation and prosecution of the United States despotism government officials and those with whom they conspire with in carrying out such atrocities, war crimes, apartheid practices, crimes against humanity, and other criminal acts. In the complaint filed by Antonio Jones, it appears that the Ku Klux Klan and its rebranding of blacks, Hispanics, gays, and Jews now welcome also what we call the white Greeks. Yes, they may be at these HBCUs, but now they're at the white institutions as well, like Alpha, Kappa, Alpha. Apparently, from the report or the lawsuit, Wilma Jones Scott and Delnar Franklin Thomas are all wrapped up in these type of sororities. So now we're finding out the purpose of these fraternities, sororities, etc. being used en masse to hide these attacks leveled against members of the protected class, known as natives, Native Americans and or those who have been labeled by the white man as being blacks, Negroes, African Americans, people of color. Again, Antonio Jones, a veteran who served in Operation Enduring Freedom, blowing the whistle and now under attack by black Ku Klux Klan members.